about a gym here. Recently went to a new hard off that I hadn't been to before. Actually, a friend of mine told me about it, and we actually went over there together, and I brought the camera with me to see what I could find, which was a lot. Actually, I found a great deal of stuff in this one. Totally untapped resource, so let's check it out. This aisle here, obviously a lot of consoles and accessories. You can see they got some PlayStations, a lot of PS2s, fat ones, and a few slims. There's a PCFX up there, some 3DOs, and even right there is one of the Sanyo 3DOs, which I thought was pretty cool. Some Model 2 Mega Drives with that awesome 6-button controller, which all I want is the controller. I can never find those by themselves. Lots of cool other peripherals and sticks and stuff. Here's some PC games. Quite a lot of those. I don't play PC games, so really totally ignorant about that stuff. Here's a case that had quite a lot of these in this store. Bunch of just top loaders in there for high prices, actually. These are pretty expensive. And then there are some, you just saw some games in there. Getting into some Neo Geo CD games here. I actually picked up a couple. You can see their top loader, or I'm sorry, top runner. That's a really good one. And a bunch of other stuff. Lots of, Fatal Fury, Samurai Spirits, that kind of thing. PC Engine games. This place had a lot of PC Engine. This right here I actually filmed after I picked through the PC Engine games, because when I saw them, I said, to hell with filming, I got to get these games. And I actually ended up picking up like about 30 PC Engine games from this place. They were all like $3 a piece. There's a copy of Cho Aniki. They're selling that for like $20 though. That is a pretty cool game, but I already have it. Thankfully, I didn't need to spend $20 on it. There you see some loose carts. Here's some Wonder Swan. They also had some Famicom disc up there. Lots of good stuff in here. Continuing on. Here's some 360 games. I actually recently picked up a Japanese 360 at a different hard off because they were also selling a whole lot of the shoot-em-ups made by Cave. And so that really sold me on getting a Japanese 360. Didn't really find anything I wanted for the 360 in this place, though. Here we have a lot of PS2. Some really good stuff in here, including one game that I bought that ended up being pretty cool. But you can see here Prince of Tennis, and then Everybody's Golf. I forget. Hot Shots Golf. Lots of good stuff, and really reasonably priced too. A lot of the PS2 games, I don't know, they're just so abundant that the prices are always really good. We got a bunch of fighting games here, KOF 2003, Street Fighter EX3, and this one, which I ended up buying, a copy of Ikito Sen, which was a fairly popular series of manga and anime, and I didn't realize they'd made a game until I was in this store. So I saw it. It came in a special collector's box, and I figured why not. Seemed pretty cool. Okami, but they're selling that for quite a bit. Definitely more than I was going to pay. Moving over here, another big, decent selection of PlayStation games. Had everything, all the Square stuff. There's a copy of the original Motor Tune. Rockman 6 for PlayStation. Let's see. Yeah, just tons and tons of PlayStation games. I'm at the point now where I have so much PS1, though it's hard for me to find games that I really want for the system. There's a Symphony of the Night Greatest Hits. A bunch of copies of Intelligent Cube, which is a great game. A whole lot more stuff. I took a lot of time to dig through these. Another case here with some good stuff in it. There's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Die Hard, Princess Crown, amazing game, and lots of other really good stuff. There's Capcom vs. SNK, Mega Man X6, Gradius Collection, all kinds of good stuff in that case. Actually picked up a couple of things out of there. Here we have quite a lot of Saturn stuff, except for that game there, a Rival Schools game, totally out of place. Yeah, they had plenty of good Saturn stuff in here. I ended up picking up a few Saturn games.
Like a Game Boy Color?
I'm always on the lookout for new Saturn stuff. There you see Vampire Hunter. That's a really great game. Grandia, Gundam, all kinds of good stuff. And then nice bunch of Dreamcast games here. I always love finding some Dreamcast. UFC, published by Capcom in Japan, oddly enough. So yeah, a big bunch of Dreamcast games they had here, and actually picked up a few of those too. Moving right along, Super Famicom. They had a lot of Super Famicom games. Here we have some loose carts, Mega Man and Bass, Mario Kart, all kinds of good stuff. But lots and lots of loose carts, as you can see, and look at all those boxed games. I dug through, found a couple that looked pretty cool. But yeah, I was just impressed by how much stuff they have. A lot of the other hard-offs near me, I've pretty much picked clean. I've gone through them all. Some Dragon Quest games, Tiny Toons. But yeah, going to this place, totally untapped. Just tons and tons of games. Dead Dance by Jalico. I ended up picking that up. Another, kind of cool little 2D, I guess, like beat 'em up fighting game. Haven't gotten around to playing yet. I think it's in the same series as Rival Turf. I could be mistaken. So, yeah, I was just very impressed. Looking at all these games, this is the best stocked hard off I've been to in a long time. Some Sailor Moon games, always lots of fun. Not too proud to admit that I like Sailor Moon. Rambo, and then they got the cool little cartoon Rambo on the side. I think that's pretty sweet. East 2. Yeah, these are all boxed Famicom games. Really very awesome. Ultima up there. A bunch of other stuff. Mario games, all the standard stuff. Here, a whole lot of loose Famicom carts.
What's that, sucker?
Which I really do enjoy collecting, even the loose Famicom carts, just because, they come in all kinds of different colors, and they're really fun to display. But as you can see, lots of really good stuff here. Some Kunio-kun, Little Nemo. Really excellent. Another case here with some kind of rare Famicom games in there. Some Super Famicom stuff. Loose Clock Tower. Super Aleste. Really good shoot 'em up. Even a copy of Alien vs. Predator up there. That's a fun game. Contra 3. Some Rockman games. Mario Brothers, the original one. And there's even, I think there's Wrecking Crew. Yeah, Wrecking Crew in there, boxed. All kinds of cool stuff. And then a 64 section, kind of modest, but that's very, very typical. Puzzle Bobble 64, great game. But this is more or less just the Nintendo aisle. Just all kinds of really great Nintendo goodness on this one. And then this last aisle here, lots of PS3 games. I don't really have very many PS3 games, but what I do have I like. Here you can see there's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, All-Star Battle, which is a cool game. There was some Ryuga Gotoku over there. Some, let's see, Wii games. I'm not big on Wii. GameCube games. Kirby's Air Ride. For some reason, it's $60. Every time I see that game, it's really expensive. There's Smash Brothers for like $34. Yeah, some expensive GameCube games. I don't understand the price being jacked up. Just checking out this game here, Dragon, whatever it's called. But yeah, so plenty of GameCube there. 3DS. I do not have a 3DS, so I kind of just passed over that. DS games, not bad. Lots of DS games, as you can plainly see. And what do we have here? A lot of Game Boy. A lot of boxed Game Boy games, and you can see up here lots of loose Game Boy games as well. Whenever I can, I like to find kind of cool little Game Boy games. I'll always be willing to add those into the collection. And then PSP and more PS3. Anyway, this is getting towards the end of the video here. So yeah, I ended up walking out of this place with a ton of games. It was a really good time. Thank you to my friend for showing me this place. Hope you enjoyed watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye. Hey everybody, Jim here. I have just arrived in Shibusawa, which I've never been to this area before, but I've passed it on the train, and I could see from the window of the train what looked like a pretty big hard off. So that's why I'm here today. Don't exactly know where it is. I just know from, where I saw it on the train, the general direction of it. So I'm gonna walk in that general direction, and hopefully before the day is out, I will have found a brand new, rather large hard off in which to hunt for games. So stick with me, because I will find this thing. I promise. And now I've been walking for the better part of a half an hour, and I'm hopeful. I am hopeful because from up high you can, whoa, right on, dude's got a hog. From up high you could see that it was in this direction, and there she blows. I have found you. Let's get up on it. Again, I've never been to this one before. Never been to this town before, so. But from the train, it looked pretty impressive. Coming around the corner here, nice big sign. We've got computers, audio, and soft. Ooh. This is a nice big one. Looks, well, not too big. It's got like a nice warehouse size to it. Alright. Well, after much searching, I finally found it. So let's get inside and see what this hard off has to offer. Let's check it out. Getting started, this hard off, one of the better stocked hard offs I've ever been to, actually, here in the console section. You can see they got a lot of PS2s, white and black, which is as per usual. Even a silver one there, which is cool, and plenty of Dreamcasts, which you can see these are all really reasonably priced, $30 or less pretty much and Saturns as well. This pretty cool Hello Kitty Dreamcast. Don't come across that all that often. It's less than $50, so that's pretty cool. And then more Saturns, white and gray. Plenty of GameCubes of all different colors, black and silver and orange spice. Some Famicoms, reasonably priced, and Model 2 Famicoms, aka the NES top loader model. Those are always going to be more expensive. Boxed Super Famicoms and boxed in 64s. The Model 2 Super Famicom, very yellow. Don't necessarily need or want one of those. Some controllers up here. 3D Saturn controller and a Neo Geo CD controller. Which is cool. Anything Neo Geo is always nice to come by. Boxed 3DO. Which is cool. I like the 3DO enough, I guess. Not a terrible system. PC Engine Core Graphics. Again, very cool. Anytime you can find anything PC Engine, that's a good day. And more 3DOs. And a PC Engine Duo R. This being sold for somewhere in the neighborhood of $150, which is a good deal. Duo R's, I have a couple of them myself, and that's the system, if you ask me. And then here, cool Mega Drive and Mega CD combo. That's probably about $180 is what that's going for, which, that's, I don't know. You don't want to pay that in a hard off. And then some peripherals, you know, you got some steering wheels, taiko drums, all that stuff. Now we get into some games proper. This aisle, well, starting out, you can see plenty of PS Vita and PSP as well. But you can see Persona 4 Golden, which is cool. There's some Hatsune Miku in there, One Piece, and a whole host of other stuff. Lots of PS Vita right there. And then even some PS4 titles. This is pretty cool. You see Sengoku Basara 4, I think, and Smyuga Gotoku, Biohazard Revelations 2. So already hard off starting to get some PS4 stuff in there. And then PS3. Always going to be plenty of PS3. You can see Dragon Ball Z and Biohazard, Metal Gear Solid 4, and a nice, I guess, little collector's edition. And more. It's like being in a library. And then their PSP section, you can see some Star Ocean, Ys, plenty of RPG goodness in there. There's even some like weird Kamen Rider Ultraman stuff down there. Rockman Dash 2, that's awesome. Mega Man Legends 2, as it's known in the West. I do love that series of Mega Man games. And again, just like the PS3, there's just a lot of PSP to be found here. You can see down there some fighting games, Bleach, and some other stuff. And yet another shelf full of PSP, including one with a scantily clad lady on it. Yeah, if you're a PSP, Blaze Blue, very cool. I'm a big fan of Blaze Blue, by the way. Yeah, if you're a Sony enthusiast, PSP, PS3, whatever, you're gonna find a lot to love in a hard off. A cool Persona 4, something Suplex. I don't know what exactly that version was, but it looked pretty cool. And then here, as usual, a modest Xbox section. Again, no secret that Xbox isn't exactly flying off the shelves in Japan. But if you're patient and you are vigilant, keep your eyes out. You can find some pretty cool stuff. There is a lot of really cool Japan exclusive stuff for the 360. You can see Steins Gate, which is very cool. Yeah, there's plenty of exclusive stuff for the 360 in Japan. A lot of really good shooters and 2D fighters, which are right up my alley. So I actually really enjoy collecting for the 360. Here, a case with some stuff in it, but we're going to bypass that, apparently. To some Famicom disk system stuff, which is cool. I like collecting for my Famicom disk system. You can see Green Beret, Dirty Pair, Mario Brothers, Some loose PSP stuff in there, and then you can see Contra, some Rockman games, Akumajo Dracula, Konami YY World, some Kunio games, Super Famicom stuff in there, Mother 2, Rockman 7, all good stuff. And then more Famicom stuff up here, some boxed games, which is always nice, including Final Fantasy, which is cool. Anything you can find something circa 1980s that's boxed and really minty like that, it's always great. And as you can see here, some pretty cool titles. Ninja Gaiden in there, some Rockman, Yoshi, good stuff in there. Here, these are cool, these little packs they put together. Here, a whole bunch of Kunio-kun games bundled together, and then all 6 Rockman games. They're selling that, it looks probably about 90 bucks for the 6 Rockman games. Even some Saint Seiya, Godzilla, and Dragon Quest, obviously. Always gonna be plenty of that. Ganbare Goemon, Ninja Turtles, alright. Yes, no shortage of good Famicom titles in here. And then, of course, you gotta have a lot of PS2 in any respectable hard-off. And a bundle of Dynasty Warriors games, which is cool. If you're a Dynasty Warriors fan, it's always nice to be able to get a bundle like that. Got Odin, Break Blow, which I reviewed the sequel to that game. They're a fun kind of MMA anime style game, which is cool. And you can see there Initial D, some other cool stuff, and more PS2. Again, all nice and divvied up. And then down here, some interesting little box sets. This is all, here you can see Negima. This is all kind of like the super cutesy dating sim stuff. All cool if you're into that. Some Taiko Drum Master. PS1 games here. See Parasite Eve. Such a great game. And more. There was, I believe, I saw some Tales games in there. Other things like that. More bundles up here. Dragon Ball Z games and all whatnot, Street Fighter games. But you got Zelda, Go-Go Akman, Donkey Kong Country, Dragon Quest, anything you could really be interested in for a Super Famicom. And then lots of really good condition box Super Famicom games. Shin Megami Tensei right there. Very cool. It's always nice to see just a big area of box games like this. Super Mario RPG in great shape. You can see in there some Kirby, plenty of good stuff. Mario and Wario, which is a fun game. You play it with your mouse. Slam Dunk, which is a manga series about basketball. They converted it into some games here. Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, Puyo Puyo, Super Bomberman, Space Invaders, Poppin', Twinbee, more Puyo Puyo. Good lord, the hits just keep on coming. And then right here, more PlayStation. Imagine that. Some Chocobo's Dungeon, Rockman X6, Wild Arms 2, Air Guys, very cool, Ark the Lad, Oni, Variable Geo, no shortage of cool stuff. And then some Dreamcast, including a very cool box, Choo Choo Rocket, some Typing of the Dead, Cyberbots for the Saturn, the special edition with the art book. That's very cool. Virtua Cop with the gun packed in. Again, just so much good stuff here. The Sonic Adventure, I believe there was a Sonic Adventure International version, was what it was. Don't know what the differences are. Code Veronica and a very cool sleeve. And some Capcom goodness. Street Fighter 02 and the original Street Fighter 0. Probably my favorite series of Street Fighter games is the Zero or Alpha games. They're very good. But some good Saturn stuff here. Christmas Nights and then the original Nights into Dreams, which I like very much. Those would go really good with that 3D controller they had back there. Puzzle Bobble, Dragon Ball Z. Very good. Like usual, Dreamcast and Saturn amalgamated into one location. And then here's some N64. Got Mario 64, Kirby, Ocarina of Time, Pokemon, Tetris. Very cool Majora's Mask box. I do like that. And then Mario Party, other good stuff down there. And then plenty of loose 64 carts. I'm not the biggest N64 fan, but there are some extremely good games on that system. Far more than bad games, I would say. More good than bad. Here, got some airsoft guns and stuff, but there was a cool little figure section in here, which usually you'd think is reserved for the hobby-offs, but here they had plenty of stuff. An entire side of the store just dedicated to figures and such. So here you can see this weird, kind of like a Goat Tanks chopper thing, whatever. I have no idea. Plenty of mech and Gundam model kits, which is very cool. VF1, that's a Macross model kit. That's very cool. So yeah, plenty of model kits in there. Another cool thing, you got me, I don't know. If you know what the hell that was, down in the comments, let me know. Yeah, plenty of One Piece here. This another cool. Was that a Macross or a Gundam figure? I don't know. Evangelion. Super cool. Yeah, always good to come across some figures. A nice collection of Gundam characters, which is cool. If you're really into Gundam, you'll usually find something you're going to be into in these places. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But yeah, never any shortage of Gundam or Kamen Rider or One Piece or JoJo. All the big name stuff. You're going to find plenty of it. And then just more. Extremely glossy, but we're getting into, I believe, some, Spawn. That's super cool. But then lots of Bishoujo figures. Detective Conan right there. But, yeah, pretty girl figures. You know, if that's the kind of thing you want to have on your shelf, this is the place to go. Because they've got plenty. Plenty of, oddly super cute, scantily clad, awkwardly posed, young girl action figures for your enjoyment. Yeah. Alright, after that little figure interlude, we're going to get back into some more games, because they had plenty more. Here we have some Mega Drive games. Not that much, unfortunately. It's always sad when I can't find, the Mega Drive games I want. They're fully stocked on everything else, but Mega Drive is almost always lacking in a hard-off. I don't know why that is. And some Mega CD games, which is pretty cool. Heavy Nova, Night Trap, which I still haven't played Night Trap in Japanese yet. I want to give that a shot. Maybe it plays better in Japanese. PC Engine stuff, World Heroes 2, which is cool, and some Bikuriman. I've played Bikuriman World, which is just Wonder Boy, actually, so pretty cool. And yeah, not a bad little selection of PC Engine titles here. Burai 2 and Sports Festival, whatever. Super Star Soldier, that is a fantastic shooter by Hudson Soft. In this little case, some cool stuff. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, Mortal Kombat 2, Bare Knuckle 2. You can see Magical Chase, of all things. And then Zero Wing for the PC Engine CD, which I do like Zero Wing quite a bit. And then Star Parodia, which is another great Hudson Soft shoot 'em up. And then moving into just a whole host of stuff. Game Boy and GBA stuff in this section. Game Boy stuff, I'm assuming, isn't exactly flying off the racks, because pretty much any hard off I go to, they will have a nice selection of Game Boy titles. And then in here you can see some GBA, N64, including Smash Brothers, even some Virtual Boy games in there. And then Dracula X, Kirby 3, and then Donald Duck in Maui Mallard, which is a really great game, actually. If you've never played, I believe in the West, it's called Cold Shadow. It's really good. And then plenty of DS, 3DS stuff. You saw there Mr. Driller and Yoshi, Dragon Quest Monsters 2, Persona Q, lots of stuff. So plenty of DS and 3DS stuff to keep you entertained if you are a enthusiast for DS and 3DS. And then even some GameCube, Donkey Konga, One Piece, Pokemon, and modest little Wii and Wii U section. There's Zero, the new Zero game, which was recently released, aka Fatal Frame, which is cool. And that's about it in this whole aisle here. And then a whole bunch of like Pokemon cards and stuff, which I'm not super into, but that's a hell of an aisle. Lots and lots of games in there. Some good games too. And then the bargain bin area of this one, as you can see, this has got to be the most well organized bargain bin I have ever been to. Pretty much everything you see here is $1 or less than $1, usually like 75 cents. But yeah, I've never seen a bargain bin area like this, where everything was just so neat. They usually are just complete garbage, and you're gonna be there for a long time, you know, hunting and digging. But you know, this one really well organized. Here you can see just a whole bunch of Super Game Boys and some loose Super Famicom or Su-Fami games. See Final Fantasy VI just sitting there. You want it? You got 75 cents in your pocket. You want this copy of Seiken Densetsu 2. Well, there it is. Just get it. Just walk in. They might not even make you pay for it. They might just be like, oh yeah, whatever, take it. Not really. Please don't. If you go to a hard off, don't try to just take the games and walk out. Please pay for them. And if you do shoplift, don't tell them I told you to do it. That's my disclaimer on this video. Yeah, bunch of Saturn, some Dreamcast, Street Fighter Zero, again less than $1, which is a steal. And then Christmas Nights, which, you know, stuff they had on the regular rack, they've gotten here as well. So, which typically when I buy games from this section, they're not broken. They will work just fine, up to and including the CD games. The cartridges, usually just take them home, give them a quick cleaning, and they're fine. Here, just a ton of PlayStation. See Tekken 3, very cool. Samurai Spirits, no manual though. And just more and more Tekken. A lot of the common stuff you'll find in here, but you will find cool things. You just saw earlier Final Fantasy VI and Seiken Densetsu 2, Dirge of Cerberus, Taiko Drum Master. Have you seen in the past, I found games like Xenogears and Biohazard 2 on the Dreamcast and Ghost in the Shell for the PlayStation. I found all that stuff in the bargain bins. Here you can see Bleach, this cool Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops Plus Deluxe Pack. That's actually priced at maybe about like $12. Yeah, lots and lots of stuff in here. Naruto. I know I got some Naruto fans in the house. Gundam. So again, yes, just their bargain bin is pretty much just as well organized as their just regular shelves. Very neat, very easy to navigate. Here, Melty Blood Act Cadenza for less than $1. If you've seen my review of Melty Blood Actress Again, you know how much I like that series and how awesome it is. And those games typically go, that one in particular, usually around $20 or so. So getting it for 75 cents is a really good deal. Here are some junk stuff. This PC Engine CD unit is pretty cool. Some Wii's and 360s. Lots of peripherals and stuff in here. You take your chances with that stuff. Just loose PlayStation decks. Lots of wires and controllers. Even a couple of PSXs, which I've played on a PSX before, and they're pretty cool. They're like a PS2, PS3, before there was a PS3. Anyway, here, final stop. Strategy guide section. Super cool. Tales of Destiny, Donkey Kong Country, a couple of Final Fantasy VII strategy guides. This is always nice when I come across a little section like this, which is occasionally, you know, I go into a hard off or a hobby off, they'll have, you know, something like this, where it's just lots of strategy guides. And I found some really cool old stuff. I found great strategy guides for, you know, the first couple of Biohazard games and Link to the Past and, you know, old 16-bit and 8-bit Mario games. Just found super cool stuff in here, and it's usually all like $1 a piece. This pretty cool strategy guide by V-Jump, it's just like all of the 32-bit Dragon Ball Z games, which is cool. Sengoku Basara 3, Seiken Densetsu, or Legend of Mana. Just awesome. That's actually my favorite Mana game. And just more. Omega Boost. Come on, man. You can't pat a strategy guide for Omega Boost. That's super awesome. And but as you can see, just plenty of cool stuff in here. God Eater and Dragon Quest. Lots of cool strategy guides here. Metal Gear. Anyway, this was a really great store. Very well stocked. I'm going to go ahead and wind it down now. So here are a few final words, everyone. All right, so that turned out to be a really awesome, very well stocked hard off. I saw some really cool, plenty of consoles in there, lots of games, even some other cool little things, figures. They even had some pachinko machines and slot machines for selling there. But it was pretty cool. Walked away with a nice little bag of games. And this is another one that it's not too far from me, so it's one I can always come back to. That was pretty awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed having a look inside this newly discovered hard off. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. I shall see you next time. Hey everybody, Jim here, and I have just arrived in the neighborhood of Akatsuka, which I've never been to before. I don't know anything at all about this particular area, but I do know that there is a hard off here, thanks to Google Maps. And it's only supposedly a 10 to 13 minute walk from the station I just got off, which is Narimasu Station. So I am on my way to a brand new hard off. Here's a mode off, actually. Mode off doesn't have like video games or anything. It's just like clothes and stuff recycled. But yeah, I just arrived in this town. And on the surface seems pretty cool, so we're gonna go for a little walk. We're gonna find this hard off, and then we're gonna get inside, and hopefully they have plenty of games. The pictures on Google Maps looks pretty damn good. So yeah, let's get our ass in gear and get to that hard off. It was really hot earlier, but now there's some cloud coverage, there's a breeze, and it's not quite so bad. I'm not exactly dying right now. So this should be a nice leisurely stroll. So let's go together.
Well, here she be. Google Maps, you've done it again. Oh god, every time I see that sign I just get all giddy with anticipation. Oh, here it is. Video games, music equipment, all kinds of stuff. Nice, big, traditional looking hard off. I am so ready to get in here. It's hot as balls outside. I hope they have the AC cranked up. Alright, let's see what this hard off in Akatsuka has to offer.
Nintendo ですから。やればやるほどディスクシステム。
Alright. Started a new hot off with some box sets, Blaze Blue, a Super Famicom, some cool stuff in this case. You can see Daiku no Gensan 2 and Rendering Ranger for like $600. Handful of PC Engine games and Mega Drive, but what I had my eye on, there's a Holy Diver back there, which upon closer inspection was only 4,000 yen, less than $40 for Holy Diver. So spoilers, I picked that up today. And then we come to this area here. It's all these CDs, DVDs, yada yada yada. Not much to speak of, but then BAM! We have some box consoles, fight sticks. That Soul Edge stick is pretty cool. A Sega Saturn, a Super Famicom, boxed and in great shape. Orange Spice GameCube, boxed GameCube. And vacuum cleaners and stuff, which I need one of those. Oh boy. And some controllers. Kind of just miscellaneous controllers for your PlayStations. And the rice cookers to go with your PlayStation controller. Another cool fight stick, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which is a game I like. And all these loose Super Famicom carts. Super Donkey Kong 2 Battle Dodgeball. So that's in kind of the Great Battle series, so that's really cool. More loose games. Great Battle 2, Albert Odyssey 2. So I don't think I was even aware there was a second game. Sailor Moon R, which is a fun beat 'em up, and that's only 1,000 yen. That's less than $10. So not so bad. Goemon 2. Is that like 800 yen? So for less than $8, you can get yourself Ganbare Goemon 2 on the Super Famicom. And let's look, Seiken Densetsu 3, Mario Kart, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam. Just lots of stuff. Not bad for loose carts. Then we have more controllers and things. Which, I guess these are all, must be in good enough shape that they're not over in the junk bins. And these N64 controllers. And they are 1,500 yen. So they're, I don't know, maybe in the area of like $13 something, $14 for those. More Super Famicom carts, as you can see. More Donkey Kong and Bomberman, all kinds of good stuff. So they had plenty of games and some Super Famicom controllers there. So all these loose carts, super cheap. So everybody just, keep that in mind. If you don't mind getting some loose carts, you can actually get most of this stuff for pretty cheap. So here we have all these N64 games, Smash Bros, Zelda, Yoshi's Story, all kinds of stuff. And they're all pretty cheap. So, like 500 yen for Zelda. That's less than $5. Not bad. And we got, what is that, Monster Maker? I don't know what that is. But look, had a cool art on the cover. Hokuto no Ken, the actual first game. That's 500 yen. Not bad. So all of these loose Famicom carts also pretty good as far as price goes. And then Gundam, Hot Scramble. A hot scramble, that sounds like something you do in the bedroom. Twin B3. Other stuff. So loose carts, all nice and cheap. Even some Game Boy stuff here. So yeah, again, I reiterate, if you're intent on collecting games, I know most collectors want their stuff all pristine and in boxes and everything. As we look at some PS3s, but if you don't mind loose carts, if you're collecting stuff that you really intent on playing and don't want to spend an arm and a leg. Loose carts are worth looking into. Can't really do that with disc-based stuff. Nobody really wants loose discs. But loose carts, that's doable. But yeah, some PS3s and PS2s. And then also in this aisle, there are figures and model kits and stuff that we can take a look at. Look at these cool Gundams. 3 really cool Gundam figures. It's $49.50 for that. And model kits as well. I know lots of people like model kits. I was one of those people when I was a kid. Alas, not anymore. And this green Gundam, for whatever reason, I don't recall there ever being a green Gundam, but okay. This guy from Fate, what is he? He's not the Lancer. I don't know. I don't know Fate all that well, but and a tabletop pinball thing. That's pretty cool. It's like $150 though. But, and Go Ranger, the original Sentai. And whatever these are, tons of glare, some glare figures. And then some other cool stuff, Jack Skellington, some Jojo, Hatsune Miku, Urusei Yasura. So they had plenty of figures in this aisle, so that's nice. And then on the other side of the aisle is where they had all the games, which is... I don't know about you, but that's what I'm here for. So, Blaze Blue, Cross Tag Battle, Dragon Quest Heroes, a bunch of other stuff. So they have Switch stuff, they have PS4 stuff. They didn't have like a crazy amount of games, unfortunately. I was hoping that they would have more, but they did have some pretty cool stuff. One of these Neptunia games. I know there are plenty of people out there who like Neptunia. Something or other Sin. I have no idea what that is, but it has cool cover art. And some other cool stuff here. Wii U's and everything else. And PS2 stuff. And this stuff is super cheap. What is this? Dongon the World. And Raizo Kuznova versus... I don't know. The title for that game escaped. It's long. It's a long title. Some kind of Tengai Makyo game. King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match. Kind of expensive for that one. $3,500. KOF 2003. The Nest Saga collection, so that's like 3 games in there. So that's pretty cool. They got you some PS2 games and PS Vita. Again, not a massive selection of Vita and PSP. Pretty much every time I go to a book off, they have a ton of those. But sometimes hard offs, they don't exactly have a ton of the modern stuff. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the PlayStation port, which is very good. That's 1,000 yen. So you can't go wrong with that. And Legend of Mana for 500 yen. Love that game. One of my favorite PlayStation games. So that's a steal, if you ask me. And there are even a handful of Xbox 360 games to peruse. Although all I ever really wanted for my Japanese Xbox 360 was the shooters. So I kind of didn't care. Tales of Destiny. First Tales game I ever played. 500 yen. And this one, X. Based on the anime. 300 yen. I reviewed that game like years and years ago. It's basically just the those games, Psychic Force. It's just like you fly around and fight. It's the exact same thing. It's just a reskin. As we see some DS, 3DS, Wii, all stuff that I don't really buy games for. And then we come to the Super Famicom, which is what I'm more into. Super R-Type, 2,000 yen. Not bad on that. Scramble. Again, the word scramble comes up. Scrambly Scramble. And Street Fighter 2. They had a couple of copies of that. Gradius 3. Awesome. They're selling that for like 20 some odd bucks. Not bad. And Kirby Bowl. 1,000 yen. That's a fun game too. Fun little Kirby game. Puyo Puyo. Super Puyo Puyo. For your Super Famicom. I'm a big Puyo Puyo fan. I would hope everyone else is too. Or if you've never played Puyo Puyo, but you played like Kirby's Avalanche or Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Just for fun, Final Fantasy VI, 500 yen. That's nice. RPGs in hard offs. I mean, they're so incredibly cheap. 1,000 yen for Super Butoden 2, in great shape, by the way. So that's very nice. And Battle Commander. Some kind of strategy game featuring all the little chibi Gundam guys. And Front Mission, also 500 yen. And Bahamut Lagoon, if I can hold it correctly, 1,000 yen. So if you love RPGs and you want to collect physical copies of RPGs, wait a minute. Monster Jam, Gravedigger, oh my god. Okay, that's just me having a little fun. Show my old monster truck loving ways. They had a handful of PC Engine games as well. That is the Japanese version of Keith Courage, and nipples on that. So, and Pac-Land. No nipples on the cover of Pac-Land though, unfortunately. And a few Dreamcast games: Blue Stinger, Berserk, Virtua Fighter 3. There's Toku Battle 2. I do like the Tokyo Extreme Racer games. Street Fighter 03. And Capcom vs. SNK for 500 yen. So they had a handful of games. Prices on them were pretty good. Not really much for the Saturn though. Puyo Puyo Sun. If I didn't already have, I probably would have picked it up. Street Fighter 02 for 500 yen. Samurai Spirits RPG for 500 yen. Sonic R for 1,500 yen. For whatever reason. Sakura Wars 2. Sonic R. What a great soundtrack on that game, but good lord. The gameplay is just terrible, and some of the graphics are dog dick ugly. As we look at some Game Boy games here, and some GameCube, including Crazy Taxi. Everybody loves Crazy Taxi. Smash Bros. Biohazard Zero. That's a few hundred yen. Not bad on that. And the original Biohazard. Also going for just pittance. Pittance for these GameCube games. Beautiful Joe. 2,000 yen. Another great Capcom game. So some cool stuff on their Bonanza Bros. Cool stuff on the GameCube. Couple of games here for Mega Drive. Bonanza Bros. And Sonic. which if I didn't already have some of this stuff, I would have snatched it up. As we look at some more consoles up here, including N64, Xbox 360, Super Famicoms, and just this tiny little selection of Famicom games. But some cool stuff in here. Dragon Ball Z3, which is the RPG about the Android Saga. We have some Dragon Quest games here. 1,000 yen, which is I think you can probably get it for less than that in most places. That's like the best-selling game, like pretty much ever in Japan. Like it's sold hotcakes don't sell that well. But that's really it. Just that one game aisle, which I was hoping for something else. But here we go, looking at the junk bin, where they have all these junky consoles that you can buy for a few hundred yen. And if you're savvy with repairs, you can grab a N64 or Super Famicom for a few bucks, take it home and repair it. And then they have all of these. You're gonna find lots of baseball and Derby Stallion and stuff like that in there, and some Super Famicom. Again, these are great for digging through if you want to find fishing and baseball games and stuff. But I try to limit how much I dig in these videos, because I could dig all day. And someone even did say they wouldn't mind a video where I just dig in these bins for like an hour. But I'm skeptical of that. And you get your Final Fantasy VI for $1. Yeah, everything in these bins, by the way, is $1. Most of it is just, it's like dirty or whatever, or yellowed a little bit. Some kid scratched his name out. For the ones that are dirty, usually you can just take them home and clean them. I used to buy games out of these bins all the time. I usually never had trouble with getting them to work after cleaning them. This is a McDonald's exclusive demo disc featuring Parappa the Rapper 2 and Ape Escape. So that's interesting. And then Super Dragon Ball Z for 100 yen. I love this game. I didn't have a copy. And when I put the camera away, I took a look at the inside, the disc and everything, and it's in fantastic shape. It's just the case was a little dirty. So I got Super Dragon Ball Z for $1, or 100 yen. And then like Suikoden 4, Dragon Ball Z 2, which is Budokai 2, Final Fantasy X-2. All of these games are 100 yen. They're less than $1. With the exchange rate right now, I think they're like 94 cents American, which is just fantastic. And then all these additional N64 controllers. So these are the junk bins, people. There is some stuff to be found in them. You can find cool games for like $1 here or there. As we take a look, there's a copy of Rockman X4 in here. And it's like, what is that, 600 yen? So it's not 100, but still in the junk bins. Biohazard 3 with no manual. And that's 100 yen. So, yeah. There's stuff in here that is worth finding. And like I said, I used to get a ton of games from the junk bins back when I still lived in the vicinity of like a handful of hard-offs. 100 yen for Onimusha 3. So that's great. So now, I get to go to the hard-offs way less frequently. But I don't mind having a look in these junk bins, because sometimes you might find something worth finding. So we have Power Pro, Pokemon Stadium. Power Pro, Pokemon Stadium 2. Power Pro. So you get it. There's a lot of Power Pro and Pokemon Stadium games. And takoyaki makers. Great. Get me a nice little takoyaki cooking thing. And then there are just a ton of cables and whatever else. Honestly, you could dig through all this stuff, piece together a little Frankenstein of a system with different cords and stuff you fished out of the junk bins. Anyway, that's enough of this place. Let's get outside. Alright. All done in there. I'm very happy with my purchases. A place to set this down. Okay. So, I ended up picking up a Super Famicom for someone else. Two things I grabbed. One, I opened it up and checked the disc and everything, and it's in great shape. It's just, I don't know, the case is like a little ratty, but it was 100 yen. So, and I love that game. And I went ahead and picked up the McDonald's Parappa and Ape Escape demo disc for 100 yen. I figured, what the hell? And then something I'm very, very happy with. Grabbed myself a copy of Holy Diver, which I've been wanting for a long time, and I got it for 4,000 yen. It's usually like, I don't know, way more than that. It's like $100 for a loose copy, and I wanted it for a long time. I just never could find it for a decent enough price. And if you hold out, you can find some decent deals, hard off. I love you. You've done it again. So I'm very happy with today's hunt. I got something for someone else, and I got some stuff for myself. Anyway, that's the hard off in Akatsuka. Not exactly like overflowing with games, but the prices were pretty good. I can't complain. I found some fun stuff in the junk section. Found a game I've been wanting for a long time, and scored something for a viewer slash customer. So everybody wins. Anyway, we are starting to enter a little bit of a sundown. Getting a little late. I'm tired. Been on my feet all day, walking, doing other stuff, and I'm ready to go home. Akatsuka, you've been wonderful, and you have a kick-ass ramen shop. If I wasn't on the move, I might stop by and have some, because it looks like they've got killer dumplings too. Anyway, yeah, I'm done. I'm going home. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Definitely, if you come to Tokyo and you consider yourself a game hunter, you like the hard offs, check out the one in Akatsuka. You might find some pretty good deals. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.